We now turn to Senator Kennedy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thanks to all of our witnesses today.
Wait, listen.
Professor Sarin, you're a professor at Yale Law School?
I am.
Okay. And I see you've been pretty active on Twitter. I'm looking at one of your tweets from a few months ago, October 30th, 2023. I'd like to read it to you. The House Republican stance is, I kid you not, support for Israel as long as we make it easier for people to cheat on their taxes. End quote. Did you tweet that?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. How many Republican congressmen or women did you talk to before you made that statement?
I was reacting to the fact that, and we've talked about it actually.
Yes,
so
ma'am,
far
but
in this.
first, if you could, how many Republican congresswomen or congressmen did you talk to?
I didn't talk to them. I actually was just reacting to the legislation that was proposed.
You
and
didn't talk to
passed.
you didn't talk to any of them
No, sir.
before you said that every single one of them supports Israel only if it is made easier for people to cheat on their taxes?
I actually don't think that every single one of them believes
But
that.
that's what you
But I
said.
do think that the legislation passed by the House reflects a statement of purpose that in order to support Israel, it's
But I'm
important
looking at
to
what you said.
allow
what your
taxpayers to
students
be able
saw.
to
You
cheat on their
said
taxes.
that every single House Republican, none of whom you talked to, would only support Israel if it was made easier for Americans to cheat on their taxes. Now, you said that, and you didn't talk to any of them.
Senator Kennedy,
Didn't you?
I am struck by, and perhaps this is something on which we agree, that it is incredibly important to support Israel. It is also incredibly important to make sure that taxpayers at the top of the distribution
we agree on
pay their
Israel,
fair
but I
share.
just can't believe you would say this about members of Congress. It's pretty pejorative, vicious. Let me finish. Without talking to them. I mean, would it be possible for somebody to support a reduction to the IRS budget because they simply believe the federal government ought to have a balanced budget? Would that be a fair position?
That
Would that be a principled position?
Except that
Welcome back to my channel. Please stay with me as we break down a heated exchange that got people talk about.
We now turn to Senator Kennedy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And thank you to all of our witnesses here today. Professor Sarin. You're a professor at Yale Law School, correct?
I am.
I noticed you've been pretty active on Twitter. I'd like to read one of your tweets from October 30th, 2023. It says, "The House Republican stance is, I kid you not, support for Israel as long as we make it easier for people to cheat on their taxes." Did you write that? Before posting that, how many Republican members of Congress did you speak with?
I didn't speak with any. I was responding to proposed legislation.
So none? You didn't speak to a single Republican before making a public statement implying they all only support Israel if it's tied to easing tax fraud?
I didn't say every single one believed that, but I do believe the legislation reflects a troubling prioritization.
I'm looking at your words. You made a blanket statement about House Republicans, none of whom you talked to, suggesting they only support Israel if Americans are allowed to cheat on taxes. Isn't that a rather vicious and sweeping claim?
Senator, I think it's vitally important to support Israel, but it's also essential to ensure fair taxation.
Sure, we agree on supporting Israel, but what I can't understand is why you would make such a harsh generalization without speaking to a single person. Couldn't it be that some Republicans voted to reduce IRS funding simply because they believe in fiscal restraint? Would that not be a principled stance?
It's possible to hold principled positions, Senator, but the impact of defunding the IRS would increase the deficit. That's not just my view.
Position?
except that actually doesn't work with respect to defunding
But would
the
it be a
IRS.
principled position?
it wouldn't be an accurate position because
Okay.
defunding
But you don't
the
know because you
IRS
didn't talk to anybody, did you?
Well,
You just said it.
Defunding the IRS, the CBO agrees, everyone who's testifying today agrees that that is going to add to deficits, not reduce
Could
them.
it be that a House Republican wanted to reduce the IRS's budget because they think that the IRS is a model of inefficiency and shouldn't be rewarded with more money?
Well,
Could that have been a possibility, a motivation for the way they
Senator
voted?
Kennedy, I so appreciate that question because the reality.
Could that have been
that the
a
reason-
motivation for the way they voted?
And it relates very closely to what Senator
Could
King
that have
said.
been a motivation for the way they
reason
voted?
That you've seen an inefficient
Could that have
IRS.
been a motivation
If you allow
for the
the
way
witness
they
to
voted?
answer, you might get your answer, Senator
It
Kennedy.
frankly couldn't have been.
It
because
could or couldn't?
It could not have been.
How do you know you didn't talk to him?
Because the reason why you've seen
You
an
just
IRS
made this
that
statement that
hasn't been able.
every Republican in the House supports Israel only if it has been made easier for people to cheat on their taxes. Could it be that maybe a House member thought that, well, the more money we spend, the more deficits we have, and the more deficits we have, the more pressure is put on interest rates, and the higher interest rates go, the more it hurts the poor. Could that have been
Senator
the position
Kennedy-
of one of the House Republicans?
Senator Kennedy.
Could it have been
To question their credibility. One of the witnesses just got tested.
Professor Sarin, I hope I passed, Senator.
Send Kennedy, you didn't.
If you enjoyed this breakdown, please don't forget to like, comment, and hit the subscriber button. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.